Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bitch and Brainstorm podcast. I'm your host, Elaine Terso, and I'm here with my friend Jess. And we are going to be talking all about leadership and business and all of the things today because Jess is a part of our Elevate Your Online Presence Business Summit. She's going to be on the April 20th panel, the business development panel, starting at 8:40 a.m. Pacific time. I'm just going to tell you guys right now. And I know I keep saying this on every single one, but I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss this panel because the people that are on this panel, we're going to have such an amazing conversation. I'm just telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, do not miss it. So, Miss Jess, would you be so kind to tell the people who you are?
Yes, I'm excited. You're right. They're not going to want to miss this panel because it's going to be freaking awesome. So I'm Jess Sato, based here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I am a business strategist and public speaker coach. And the heart of the work I do is really around helping people figure out what is their big idea and then using that in their business strategy, in their hiring practices, in their scale strategies on a TEDx stage, like you name it, the core is the big idea. And so I'm super jazzed to be hanging with the girls on the panel and talking about all things business.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I love that, the big idea is very much a part of my part too, because what I love to do is help them implement that big idea.
Yes.
But so many times the big idea doesn't quite have all the clarity and all of the pieces that they really need to know. So I feel like, and this is something that I love that we're going to talk about, is that the mission, like what their purpose is, kind of becomes the foundation for all of that. Can you talk a little bit more about like why we all need to have a mission when we're coming up with these ideas?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You are like so speaking my language. So here's what I've realized. Someone was asking me the other day, like, is your purpose, is the mission, is it the vision? Like, it's sort of like all of it. And not to be like super cheesy about that, but the big idea is really the foundation. It's the input into the vision. Like, what do you really want to see changed in the world through your work? And then how do you implement that in your business? That's the mission, right? But it's all stemming from that big idea. And I find that you're right. Most people they don't have enough clarity on what that really is. And I think probably a lot of that has to do with like, it feels super massive to be like, what's my purpose? What's my big idea, right? It, by definition, is big, but it doesn't have to be like this monstrosity of a thing. It could be something as simple as, like in my case, I believe very strongly that women globally should be free to use their voice, their skills, and their expertise to create opportunities for themselves and others. And I believe the best path for that is through entrepreneurship, right? So that means if that's the foundation of what I believe, everything I do in my personal life, in my professional life, in my business comes right back to the core of that. Who I hire, how I do my work, who who I'm doing work for, how I leverage the financials, all of it comes back to, am I doing stuff to move the needle forward on this big idea? And when you know what that is, and the more specificity, the more clarity around that, the more ease and flow you see in your own business because there's such rich alignment there.
Yeah. So what do you do when you're someone like me who has passion about a lot of different things, right? Like, how do you narrow that down? Because, I get big ideas all the time and I want to implement all of them, but realistically and logically and bandwidth, no. I was just talking with one of our other panelists yesterday who we were talking about shiny object syndrome and the squirrels and the focus and how to, and I'm like, oh my God, like, are you here hiding in my house somewhere? Because hello, you are like, you were basically you were calling me out, basically. I feel attacked.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I
do
appreciate this so much.
Multi-passions.
Okay. So it's so funny that you're asking this because I was getting ready to get in the shower this morning and I had a whole conversation. I've been studying Arabic. I speak Arabic already, but I've just been doing it. And so I meet with a tutor at 6 a.m. every morning. And I got done with that and I was getting ready for the day. And I just thought, I just want to do all the things.
Mhm.
I want to do all the things. I want to make a big difference, like all these things. And I thought, okay, there's nothing to say that you can't do all the things, but you can't do all the things right now at the same time.
Mhm.
And so I try to go back to what is the most pressing, immediate thing I can do to move the needle forward. That's not to say don't have a future focus. I'm a business strategist. I'm all about the future.
Mhm.
And at the same time, I recognize that if I'm clear on where I'm going, then I can use that big idea, that vision for where I want to go and who I want to help and how I want to do things in the world. I can use that as a filter. And I can, take some random idea that pops in my head and be like, okay, does that align?
Yep.
If the answer is no, okay, well, we got to check that or at least defer it.
Mhm.
Um, or maybe it's like, this is a great idea, but it's not for me. Who do I know that will totally
Yes.
resonate with the idea? Let me plant that seed. Or I can say, yep, this is something I want to do. How does it fit into what I'm already doing? And if it's like, it doesn't quite fit, but you could see that there's possibility, that's where you get to play, I
Mhm.
think.
Mhm.
But I think too often, and I'm guilty of this because like you, I love big ideas. I love helping people. I like creating change. It's very easy to derail yourself with those ideas because on the surface, it sounds good. It's quick. You want to take action, etc. Um, and the truth is, we rarely give ourselves enough time to actually see something through. And,
Yes.
I mean, like, let me just use an example. So I shifted my entire business model in December. And for the first 3 months of the year, I'm like, okay, nothing's happening. Everything is crazy. But I just kept doing what I say to my own clients, which is keep showing up, keep talking about the thing, keep making offers, etc. And then boom, 90 days, action. And so I just think we need to pause, evaluate whether or not the thing that we're thinking about fits. If it doesn't fit, where could it fit? Is it later? Is it now? Is it further down the road? And then give the things that we committed to the time to work. Because I think a lot of times, and I don't know if this is true for you, Elaine, but for me, sometimes when those shiny objects come, it's because I'm not seeing results right now. And I'm like, well, I need to do something else. When in reality, we just need to stick it out,
Yes.
right?
Yep. Yep. It's
So
it's
yeah,
all about for me, the shiny objects come and are a distraction. They are putting me into avoidance because typically it means I'm not getting immediate results.
yeah,
Therefore, I must be doing it wrong. Therefore, this other big idea could work. And so I'm just going to put all of my energy into that instead of focusing on what I really need to be doing is staying consistent and tweaking or pivoting or shifting or whatever, staying the
yeah,
course
yeah,
and not giving up just because you don't get immediate results. Just because you put one
yeah,
freaking Facebook post out and you don't have everybody coming to
yes,
buy your stuff does not mean that it's not working. Like, I
that's
feel
right.
like you got to give it the good college try and
You do.
decide I'm going to put all of my energy and my attention towards this big idea for
Yep,
X amount of days. And then if I'm not right, I've given it my all, it's not working, people are not
that's right.
resonating, then you time to go back to the drawing board, do some market research, tweak, pivot, what do you got to do to change? But I love
Yep,
the idea of having like this mission that's kind of driven by, like, to me it kind of goes like impact, like what is the impact you want to see in the
yes,
world? And now what is the mission on how you're like the how are you going
yes,
to make the impact?
that's
That's
exactly right.
your offer, like that's the thing that's
Hmm.
going to drive you.
Yeah,
But I see so many people get so distracted by all the
yeah,
shiny things and it's not working and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh girl, like you
yeah,
got to give it some more time. So
yeah.
like,
And I mean, here's the deal:
yeah,
90 days. I
yes,
mean, here's the deal: if you look at what's happening in your business right now,
yep,
it is 100% a product of what you did 90 days ago.
yes. Oh
Right.
my
And
God,
so that's
speaking
why,
my language. Mhm.
people, you know, they're like, oh, I'm not getting those immediate results, like you were saying. And I'm like, well, what were you doing 90 days ago?
Yeah,
You were doing nothing. You were on vacation. And not
yep,
that I'm not an advocate for
yeah,
vacation, right? But like,
yeah,
you have to be strategic and take a
yeah,
hard look at what you're doing. It's rare that you're going to come up with an idea, implement it, and boom, you're going to see an actual result. It really does take time. That's why I say, like, truly 60 to 90 days.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
so that example I used before, like, I shifted my whole business, and it solidly took 90 days to get the wheels really turning again, revenue coming in, the right clients hearing the message. Like, if I had just been like, well, this isn't working, I'm going to go back to what I was doing, I would have like really missed out on the opportunity, like for this conversation, because I wholeheartedly believe, like, when we take a step back and we look at what is the impact that we really want to create. And here's the other thing, Elaine, I fundamentally believe that business is meant to do good in the world. And too often we're thinking, oh, results, money, et cetera. And those are all important things, right? You have to make money as a business owner. And at the same time, you can be strategic and build your business to do good. And that to me is what the big idea is all about. How can I take this thing that I fundamentally believe and build my business to incorporate and help me move the needle there? So keep going, people. Do not give up. Don't get distracted. Just plant your flag in the ground and go.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I feel like I could talk to you about this all day long, like for real, because everything you were saying is like, yes, 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 and yes. So, if you would like to join us to continue this conversation, be sure to do so on April 20th at the Business Development Panel at the Elevate Your Online Presence Business Summit. 8:40 a.m. Pacific time is the one that you are not going to want to miss to continue this amazing conversation that we're going to be having around this topic. So thank you, Jess, for being a part of our summit and coming to share with me a little bit today. I cannot wait. This is going to be freaking amazing.
So excited. I can't wait. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right. We'll see you guys later.